himself. You know what I'm saying? This is part two. The first time was just him giving us his journey about how he did what he did, the music life, the music universe that he lives in. But now we're gonna focus on this amazing new album he has out right now, Class Crown. I was the first to buy it. Yes, don't hate. If you're out there, if you're in America, it's $5.94. If you're in England, it's $3. No, £3 and 94 pence. So don't be a penny pincher. Come out the pocket. Ain't nothing free. So, yo, Kimba, man, brother, it's good to have you on, man. How you doing, man? How's everything?
Thank you, brother. Yeah, it's good, man. Everything's good. Busy as usual, which is always good. And I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah, yeah, it's been busy. The last couple of days have been busy, but I always seem to have energy. When you're around, I always seem to have big energy, man.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
shouts out to you for bringing that out.
hey, that's I no, it's my pleasure, man. When you are successful like you are, the one thing that gets sacrificed is sleep. No person who's successful can deny that. Sleep is not really a very high commodity. You know what I'm saying? If,
For
if you
sure.
if you get if you get 4 hours, be grateful. Like Kobe used to say, I don't need to sleep 8. I need to sleep 4 and work 16. You feel me? So
Mm,
that's my mentality. Tupac had that mentality. Kobe Bryant had that mentality. Anybody that I really look up to like that, my dad had that mentality. I mean, I used to watch
mm-hmm.
my dad as a kid. Man, working like 16 hours, sleep 5 hours, get back in his cab again, and do it again, just so he could put money on the table for his kids. You know what I mean? But I think there's a because you're a family man, and there's a pride that you have
Mm-hmm.
about executing that idea, about
Mm-hmm.
executing that thought, that process of just saying, you know what, I want to be a provider, but at the same time too, being a dream chaser. Because I think a lot of parents made this mistake. The minute they become parents, they stop chasing their dreams. No, you just keep chasing your dreams so that you can show your kids that you're an example of what it takes to get somewhere. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's a lot. They do that, man. They stop chasing their own dreams. It's a very bad way to function. I don't really.
You're absolutely right. And one of the worst parts of that is the fact that your passion for life changes
Yeah.
and it can become very noticeable without you actually even saying that
Yep.
because kids are very sensitive and receptive. And so a passionate person is different.
Yeah.
They have different energy,
Yeah.
as opposed to a person who's just trying to get by.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, you're absolutely right.
Getting by is not the spot because that's a life is too singular. It's like I always say, man. My uncle always says to me, God is in us, our goals, our dreams. It is our job, our duty to show courage and execute it. Even just yesterday on Monday, when I sent him a thing, he always finishes off the same way. You are doing great. Stay the course. Stay blessed. It's just very, very uplifting. I call them sermons, man. I don't know what else I can call them because I sent him some little quote, and man, he hit me with this thing with like, whoa. And the fact that my uncle actually takes the time to actually write it out. You know what I'm saying? It can't you can't get no better support system than that. So and people
Mm,
notice it too when you become less passionate in your pursuit. Man, that's bad. Your kids are the ones that should never notice it. And if they do, man, they're gonna give you a reminder. Like, what is this guy doing? You know what I mean? So, so that's where it's at, man. But
for
let's bring
sure.
yeah, let's bring Mr. Kimba. Why what the reason why we brought him here. There's questions about the album, right? Because I've listened to it. I listen to it literally every day. It's in my
Oh
background
man.
when I go live every day.
Thank you,
So
brother.
what's
Thank you.
man, you're welcome, man. It's my pleasure. What inspired this album? Because this is different from everything else. That's the first question off top.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to do something that um lyrically was understandable, was digestible for a younger audience, and a younger audience uh, sound that is similar to what's current right now. A younger audience, a current sound, and something I could do in schools
Yeah,
when I visit. Those were the main three things: a younger audience, a current sound,
yeah,
and be able to take this music and share it in schools. And um, it's working. It's ticking the boxes to a great degree. As
yeah,
to even today, I was able to share some songs in schools, and from the project, right? I
Yeah.
did 2 songs today from the project, and, the kids were asking, "Hey, where is this music? Where can we hear this?"
See,
Right?
that's what we want to hear. That's
Yeah.
uh that's the kind of outcome, the kind of independence, the kind of joy that lets you know. You know what? If I can get two, I can get four. If you can get four, you can get eight. If you get eight, you can get 16. So now those kids at school, you know, kids talk. Yo, you got to go hear this album, Kimba Class Crown, available on Apple. Man, how much is that thing? $3.94. That ain't nothing for to drop that out because it's a value buy because technically an album like that, each track is at least £1. So if you take
Mm,
£1, that's £5, and then whatever
mm,
taxes that y'all paying over there. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
So and the same thing in America. So $5.94, that's tax included. You should maybe get 5 tracks, £1 each. There's no reason why you should have to say your track 69 cents a pound. I mean 69 cents pence. No way. No way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so happy for you in that aspect. Because you said three things: been teaching school, reach the kids, and the third one was I find it fascinating because those three things are not what usual artists do.
Mm,
They're more concerned with
mm,
the general thinking person is more concerned with going platinum and selling as many as they can a week. Whereas
mm.
you're more concerned with substance and the effect of what I'm going to do. So
Yeah.
what touching that a little bit before we shift forward because I think that's important.
Yeah, yeah. Well, for me, it's very important because I'm a person who I really value. I value number one music. I value,
Yeah.
right. I really love music. I think that um, it is one of the most spiritual experiences that we can have in life is
Right.
to be influenced by music, and so it's very influential in my life
Right.
from a young child. And so when I look out into the world and I think about my experience and I look at the experience of people I'm around, and especially in my workspace,
Right.
I realize that young people are heavily influenced by the music that's in the world
Yep.
and the music that they exposed to. So I wanted to deliberately create something that would grab the attention of a younger audience and let them know that although there are all these other different voices in the world that you can tune into,
Right.
you don't have to feel like your only choices are the negative ones,
Huh. That's a
right? Because it's weird sometimes. Music that I'd heard years ago
right.
that had some good messages, but a lot of it negative. Even some of the young people are still listening to getting access to music that's been around for years and
Right.
even newer stuff that's not necessarily positive, but because it's so readily accessible, they
Right.
just get into it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? And it has a bad name. You know, rap music has I think a lot of people appreciate the fact that you can access good stuff, but
Yeah.
some people just don't know, and some people just think whatever's in the
Well,
mainstream is the only thing that's available. And
yeah.
yeah, man, I want to give folks something you can bang out to, but something that's also going to feed you to help you get to encourage you to get to where you need to go.
Yeah. Nobody's thinking like that because what you're doing with your music is you're feeding substance that's nutrition to a daily living. I think a lot
Mm,
of these rappers, based on maybe they're signed to a record label or whatever they might be signed to, they have fiscal obligations to meet quotas for whatever they got to meet. So they'll put out any garbage. Um,
mm,
they'll put out anything. They'll say,
mm.
for example, you hear some, well, maybe the exec of the record label will be like, you didn't say the N word enough times. I mean, I've heard stories, man. It's just a bunch of nonsense, man. I'm just like, this
Wow.
I gotta deal with. I'm not dealing with that. No, that just takes
Nah.
away your. It's very. I think what happened, and I've noticed this, and this is something I always say. Rap has not been the same since Tupac died.
Mm,
Nobody nobody raps about community anymore. Nobody raps
mm,
about changes. Nobody raps about life goes on. Nobody's rapping about what's gonna enlighten or better people's lives. You've got Nas, you've got Logic, you've got J. Cole, you've got Kendrick Lamar. but those are 5 rappers. Then you've got the underground cats that do it. Mos Def, Talib Kweli, Common, yourself. You know what I'm saying? But there isn't enough of y'all versus the other one. You see what I'm saying? So y'all are putting out substance, and these guys are putting out trash, and they don't care because all they want to do is wear jewelry on the video, show how many girls they got on their arm, and none of that is the normal living day. You know what I'm saying? It's not normal. It's just not really what's really gonna move anything or change anything. You know what I mean? So I
You're
think that's
so
a
right.
problem, right?
You're so right. Yeah, and I think the point you make, I would also reflect on in saying this, that there was a time when hip hop and rap music wasn't mainstream.
No.
And so there was, when that was the case, there was much more diversity in terms of the messages and the sound that you could hear.
Yep.
But as it became more popular, you'll notice that the sound and the messages have become less diverse,
Yeah.
right? And the central focus has landed on how much money you have or how much materialism you have and how much access or how invaluable relationships are,
Yeah.
you know, and
Well,
and
what you're saying is, I forget. Excuse me, cutting you off, but what you're saying is they, it's like a trade, man. They traded hits for your spirit or your soul. I don't know what word I want to use, man. It's pretty bad. To the point
mm,
where it's not really about, like, this is negative, but you notice that there was a string for the last 5 years of rappers just dying left and right. That is not no coincidence. That's record labels paying for the death of our youth and
mm,
using their trauma against them. I don't. Whenever one of these rappers who die, be like, huh? I wonder what the record labels. How did that happen? Because
mm,
now that he's not here to fight you, you own his publishing, royalties, all that stuff. See, like the music industry is such a filthy spot of living. A 50s. It's not even a place of creation, man. It's
mm,
just a factory of like stuff on the shelf. Take it, put it on the stage. That's it. So now artists are not artists; they're just stage bobbies.
mm,
You drop down. Okay, move you here. You're June. You're April. You're May. You're whatever.
mm.
You're not. I'm pretty sure the universe didn't make it so where you had to be April and somebody else had to be May. You're supposed to go through all the months of the year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, man, music is. I'm always disgusted at some of the stuff that I see, and I'm very cognizant of what I listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Because me, at this junction in my life, I'm not trying to hear your nonsense. You talking about how many people you gonna kill, yada yada yada, how many fools. I mean, dude, and half the stuff you're talking about, you don't. These, all most of these guys are studio gangsters, and they're not tough guys because they're only tough guys because they got like 20 people around them. They go solo, they're not gonna do nothing. So the thing that God says that makes you a man, you really ain't a man. You're just a coward hiding behind whoever you're rolling with. You feel me? So that's why you get. So I love, like a cat. What did Redman say? Said Redman say all these cats rolling with like 40 people, and Redman from your spot. You know what I mean? And so he says only person keeping me safe is God. So I don't see the point in rolling with 40 people. That's a waste of my money.
Bro, you so right, man. You so right. But one thing you said, which was interesting as well, in relationship to this current
Yeah,
generation, is that your experience has made you wiser
yeah,
and your exposure, but some of these young people don't have the benefit of knowing anything other than what is placed in front of them,
yes, sir.
and so that is the factor that has to, yeah, be addressed when it comes to exposing them to something that's useful and something that's worthwhile. So that's what I'm trying to do, bro. And it's sometimes it's a challenge because um you have to work through people's expectations of what you they might hear
Yeah.
and what they might be accustomed to, because you can get used to junk food.
Yes, you can and think it's healthy.
You You can get used to
Why you
junk
have an
food, bro.
obesity problem. So it's funny. I love how you said that. I love that because in hip hop we have an obesity problem. People think that the stuff they're listening to is good, but it's actually making them stupid and fatter. Not physically, but mentally, where they're not growing as human beings. Because these record labels who are ran by a bunch of old white guys, Jews or whoever, don't care about the African American community, don't care about, all they care about is the bottom line. So they're milking, no, they're puppeteering these guys and they're putting out trash. So when you have a guy like Logic who refuses to do stupid stuff, they won't put him out in the front. You know what I'm saying? You
Yep.
know, like it's his first album, Under Pressure, versus what he's doing now. They over there like, I remember he did that song about suicide. 1-800, and they went out of their way to not promote it. Yeah, he performed it at the Grammy, but he only performed it at the Grammy because they put so much pressure on the Grammy to stop promoting the usual BS. Women get on the stage and twerking, like, bro. I'm like, yo, like, it's just like really corny. And then these same people that are twerking will be like, well, you should make good decisions. I'm sorry, you twerking is not a good decision. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's
Straight
wild
crazy.
out here, bro. It's wild out here. If it's
Yeah.
got a dollar sign attached to it, bro, people will try it. You know what I
Yep.
mean? People will try it. So, but you know what? It it is a challenge, but it's also too, I think, for those who are looking for something authentic,
Yeah.
it's an opportunity and it takes more work and more effort a lot of times. But
To find good music.
yeah,
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 you have to go look for good music. Good music isn't just readily available, man. You know what I mean? So which now brings us to the next track, which is perfect. Why 6 tracks and a short EP? Because you did
yeah,
6. That's not no accident. Um, break it down, brother. Break it down.
yeah. So you know what? I thought to myself, um, I want to hit people with something that is short, sweet, but also has replay value,
Yeah.
right? I want it to be
Oh, I
short.
get it.
I want it to be sweet, but I want it to be something that has staying power. Like,
Yeah.
so when it's done, when it's been spun once, it's
Yeah.
like, you know what? That's good enough to
Yeah.
spin again,
Yeah. And
you
to the
know?
point. The respin right. I love that. So you wanted
Yeah.
something short, sweet, and to the point. Because what I noticed, most of the tracks, longest one is a longest one should be, actually, let me make sure I'm right. Longest one is Ride Out. That one's 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Actually, two. C Motions and Ride Out are both 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Now y'all know I've listened to this album too much when I'm starting to know the time. You know what I'm saying? When I'm knowing how much time it is. Yeah. So 212, because they're like, but see, when an album is, when songs are made like this, there's an organic creation that's happening, because you're like, most people will stretch these sounds to 3 minutes, whatever it might be, but you're forcing your brain to not short change it, but to cut, like, the I call it the BS. You cut the fat out. Like, I'm getting straight to the point.
Oh
One hook,
yeah.
one verse, one hook,
Oh yeah.
one verse, done. Most of these
Yeah.
songs have 2 verses tops. I've heard this album 12 times already. It's 2 verses. Yeah, I know how many times I've heard it. It's that 2 verses tops, and each verse is like 40 seconds long. That's it.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
word the word no. I'm gonna go ahead, man. Let you break it down some more, but that's what I've
Yeah,
heard.
bro. I mean, that was the point, man. I wanted songs that were very specific, had a very specific message,
Yeah,
but they had to be pieces of music that had replay value. And
yeah,
it was really just about something that is substance that could be on repeat
yeah,
and that you can enjoy, right? Just stuff that you can enjoy
yeah,
because you can have a project that has 12 songs
yeah.
and people only like 2 songs.
Yes, that happens all the time. That happens all the time.
And I'm like,
Oh
what
man, that happens all the time.
one thing I really love about right now in history and
Yeah,
creatively, especially musically, is that as an independent artist, you don't have to do these big long projects. You
no,
can do whatever you want to do as long as it's quality. And so that was what I was going for. I just wanted something that was quality and something that could have staying power that you could listen to, that someone could listen to now, put it away for a month, come back to it, listen to it again, and feel the same way they did first time they heard it.
Yeah, you're not beholden to you're not beholden to any record label or any particular thing like that. You're just doing your own thing, and
Absolutely.
people can either like it or not like it. I don't know. I love the album, man, because I remember when you dropped it, I was so honored for you to send me the link to the initial
Yeah.
edition, and then once it dropped again. But you know, it's funny for me to get something like that, to get a link to the album not even before this release time. That lets me know where I stand in terms of like credibility, honor, and all
Mm.
that stuff with you. And I remember hearing
Mm.
the album, and I hit you back. What was that? 3 minutes later, or six? No, exactly 6 minutes later. Because each I was like, what the holy crap? Yeah, because it was the first time I had heard anything since Street English, and you know how I
Right.
feel about that. So,
Right.
I was so proud of you, man, because a
Oh.
lot of it takes a lot of courage to pursue a dream.
Mm.
Even right now, while we're talking, there's nobody in the chat right now, but I don't care. That's not why
Yeah.
I'm doing this. Somebody
Right.
told me something, and that's when I started loving being on YouTube. Don't do it just because you're gonna get a bunch of views. Do it because it's just good substance, and everything else will follow afterwards. This,
Wow.
this same video we're doing right now, I
Yeah.
can guarantee you in about 30 days there'll be like God knows how many views. It's just
Yeah.
I really try my best to explain that to a lot of people, but a lot of people don't comprehend that. Remember when I told you the
Mm.
story about the John Legend? He dropped the album, right? It
Mm.
wasn't until a year later that they caught fire. And when it
Mm.
caught fire, it caught fire.
Mm.
What's that song called? People or something like that?
Ordinary people?
Maybe. But it was a hit, bro. When I say it was a hit, it had like 44 million views or downloads or some crazy number like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember the song, but that thing was on fire. And that's when
Yeah.
it first came out. And then everything else, of course, the history, the history is written. The rest is history.
Oh yeah. It's probably ordinary people then.
Yes, it's
It's,
ordinary people. Yeah, it didn't catch. It was
yeah.
a whole year for it to catch. And when it finally did, it was game over, bro. Game over.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of my, you there's a question I'm gonna be answering shortly, which is interesting because that song's gonna come up.
Yeah,
That song's gonna come up. But yeah, man, it was just, and I appreciate that as an encouragement. I take
yeah,
that away as well because this project, Class Crown, came out about maybe a month ago now, 3 weeks ago,
yeah,
and a few people have heard it,
yeah.
but it's slowly
Slow
more
burn.
people. Yeah, slow burn. Slowly, people are hearing it. But the thing is, when I perform it in schools,
Yeah.
the how the young people and the teachers respond, I
Yeah.
know that I have something.
Yes, you
It's
do.
just that I have to keep pushing
Doing
it,
it.
keep pushing it.
Now that right
So
there, the advantage you have is that now when the kids are talking about it, that's the fastest way to get it out because what now is, and the teachers themselves too, kids gonna tell each other about it. They're gonna visit Apple. They're gonna pay that money, but also too, I don't know if it's possible, but maybe someone have some kind of QR code or something where once they finish the performance, you just show it to them and then they scan it and boom, they're on Apple. They're buying automatically because people are out of sight, out of mind. If they want something, they don't buy it at that junction, they won't remember to buy it. But if you have
I
something in your
like that.
and they scan it, boom, take them straight to Apple, take them straight to your Apple Music spot, buy the album and done.
I
Um,
like that.
I know I do that for me now with my gear. There's always a QR code on my phone. Like for example, let me show you what I mean. My
I
phone case,
saw it on your shoes.
yeah, my shoes. So it's automatically direct to my spot. There's no waiting because with what I do is not a need. It's a want. And when people want something, they get it. If they don't get it at that moment, they're not gonna get it. So what I've done is I force you. It's not a force, but I'm like, okay, right there. Now you're going to the website. Now for those who are gonna buy, let's say if at that time they scan my QR code, let's say 10 people go into my website, more than likely only one is gonna buy. But that one is all I need because that one is gonna eventually become 10. I've stopped trying to cater to everybody and started
Yeah.
catering to those who want to be fans of what I do or how I do or when I do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not gonna waste my time. You know what I'm saying? Like me, back to it again. I felt so honored when my boy, y'all don't, this man right here to my right, this brother, man, when he sent me this thing, because he knows how I feel about street English. He knows how I went off about it. It be getting me heated, man. You know what I mean? But to hear this again, which gave me peace that yeah, he's found his courage again and it's
Mm.
popping. And this time, all the things we used to chop it up about, being independent, producing yourself, all that good stuff. He put it all in this cooking, man. You took this
Yeah.
album and you put it in the oven, and it baked, cooked at the right time. It came out fantastic. Albums like this aren't made on the skillet. No, they're put in the oven. They're baked. Their ingredients are put together, and then they let it cook. That's how it go. It can't go no other way. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man. Thank you, brother. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was I was determined to rebound, bro. Like, cause the way I feel is that this is my legacy,
yeah,
right? And I can't allow that to be interfered with, you know what I
yes,
mean? Like the same look you're wearing your art,
yeah,
you know. You decided that, you found your purpose. One of your purposes of being on this planet is to have a legacy of creativity
yes,
and
sir.
independence that people can see it is possible to live your dreams. So
Right.
yeah, it took a little while, but yeah, I was able to get back in the saddle, bro. And so for me, it's just it's another stepping stone to continue to go in the direction that um I'm determined to see, which is, ultimately living abundantly from
Yeah.
my creativity, you know?
There's nothing wrong with that, man. That's the dream of everybody. I hope that's the dream of everybody. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
me too.
Nothing
Me
nothing
too.
can be more satisfying than your living being provided for from what you have a passion for. That is
Absolutely.
that is the direction I'm going.
Hmm.
I'm getting there every day, man. As I told myself, I always tell myself about my job until I go live on YouTube. One day, man, I'm gonna tell my job to go to hell, and preferably it's gonna be end of this year. You know what I'm saying? So now that brings us to the next question: who was behind the production? Because it's you, and then how did you? I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, what's that? Disperse the responsibilities. What did you want to be you, and what did you want to be okay with being somebody else or whatever?
All right, so what I did was because I was determined to be totally independent without putting a whole lot of pressure on myself,
Yeah.
I said I'm gonna source some beats, man. So I just
Okay.
went and I again, one of the perks of being alive in this generation and being a creative is that there's so many creatives out there and you just have to know how to use your resources. And so I set aside some funds and just bought some production that I could use when I
Yeah.
came across a producer that I liked what they were doing
Yeah.
in the current sound.
Right. Right.
Um, and this producer is called Wishmaster.
Wishmaster. Okay.
Yeah, he's produced for some pretty big names. He's produced for a couple platinum selling artists, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, but I was like, when I heard the production, I was like, okay, I do like this, and this is in the vein that I wanted to tap into. So I
Okay.
was like, let me just do this because he had some deals going on where he was like selling like bundles of productions, and I
Okay.
was like, you know what, I'm gonna take this opportunity
Yeah.
so that I can knock out these projects that I've been wanting to knock out
Right.
for this very specific audience. And that's what I did, bro.
Man,
Found yeah.
that gives you independence. So you get the tracks, you get the beats, as they call them, because people always confuse tracks with beats. So I just always say you get the beats, and then in the studio, was he also the person that was behind the engineering, or you just
Now that for me, because I want to be on my own schedule and my goal is to eventually do everything in house. I
yeah,
do all the recordings. I do the recordings and the mixing and all of that
yeah.
myself.
No, that's
So
beautiful, man. So when you just wake up in the morning, you can just go. That's the that's you can't especially for what you do. You can't buy. There's no greater freedom, man. That really gives you a leg up because even there's people in the industry right now that can't do what you're doing right there, where they can go by the track and then do it in their own, man. So you literally, so y'all you heard it first. This man is literally the executive producer of his own album, and that's what I've been wishing for him all this time, man. And you get that because the more you can do on your own, the better off you are. Like me, I make all my own beats. I just got tired of like it feels like what's the word I'm looking for, man? Just like somebody holding something over you,
yeah, for
and it's
sure.
a very infuriating feeling to know that
Yeah.
okay, wait, I can't record something because I'm waiting for a beat, or I can't rap something because I'm waiting for somebody to write something for me. And I've always found that really weird when you don't write your own stuff, which a lot of people do. But for those artists who do, that's really where the difference between MCs and entertainers are.
Mm,
You see what I'm saying? MCs and entertainers are totally two different groups, man. And
mm,
MCs are dudes who write their own stuff. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Entertainers are dudes who wait for somebody to write something for them so they can rap it, and that's fine. Maybe that's you. But I think that if you have the intelligence, the creative intelligence,
Yeah,
that's truly the difference between an MC and an entertainer. An MC has
absolutely.
creative intelligence. Entertainer, I'm waiting for somebody to be dropped on my lap. So, that's what makes a guy like Tupac special, Prince special, Ray Charles special. Um, I'm being specific now. Marvin Gaye special, yourself,
Yeah, yeah. Come on now.
Nas special,
Come on
Lil
now.
Wayne special,
Mm,
Kendrick Lamar special, Common special, Mos
mm,
Def special,
mm-hmm.
um, shoot, man, this list is Jay-Z,
Okay.
LL Cool J. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's not your
yeah,
your creative. Your creative corner is coming into play, and that's I really believe that's between an MC and an entertainer. They
yeah.
can't. Andre 3000, big boy. You know what I'm saying? Those guys, man, nasty with it. Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Yeah.
yeah. So I love. I remember somebody. One of the best compliments I ever got once when I first started doing the album again. They're like, "You sound like a one man Bone Thugs and Harmony." I said, "What?" But it's ironic though. I learned to sing listening to them. That's how I learned to sing. Whenever Bone Thugs and Harmony come on, I be losing my mind. Like, how can these dudes rap like that and sing better than an R&B singer? I'm like, this is
Yeah.
crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wow, this is really crazy. That's why this week's motivational quote, remember the one I sent to you? Doesn't matter what age you are. There's no excuse for not chasing your dream. I don't care
Mm,
whether you're 95, whatever. You could start a whole new life at 70. Too many people, too many people don't do. They pigeonhole themselves. Forget
mm.
everybody else doing it. You do it yourself. So if you're
Mm.
doing it yourself, what you expect from everybody else to do? You know
Yeah,
what I'm
it's
saying?
true.
So
It's true.
that's where it's at, man. I think
Mm,
there's a lack of self awareness of how to appreciate yourself. Because if you don't appreciate yourself, nobody else is gonna appreciate you. And that right there is the honest truth of it, man. So I'm saying, so I'm happy that you were like, it's a vast difference from street English, which involves other people. But as this one, you're like, let me get these beats. I'm gonna do it myself. Now I
yeah.
can get up at 2 in the morning. Yo, oh, that's a good idea. Let's go.
Bro, listen, independence is a beautiful
It
thing.
is so cool.
It's a beautiful thing to be able to the liberty to create
Yeah.
with the understanding or with the power to do as you please with what
Yeah.
you create. You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
it's a beautiful, it's an amazing thing. And so, as a creative, you just want to engage that and build on it, because I think there's always this period of mastering what you do
Yeah.
so that the quality is there.
Yeah.
But once you've done that, man, there is no limit. You know what I mean?
Because
The
you can always
sky.
grow as a production. You can
Yeah.
always evolve as you're producing it. So
Oh
one
yeah.
album will sound this way, you get to the next one. Even songs, tracks on the album, 1 through 5 or 1 through 12, whatever you decide you might do, that changes as you go because you can keep evolving. And that's what brings us to the next question, right? What's different about this project from other projects? Because I've heard you've done past ones, so give people what really separated them, man? Because it's a very 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 different project, man. And right now you're kind of doing like a tour of your own, where when you go to different schools, every school is a stage or tour destination. So it's a chance for
Yeah,
people to recognize the music. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. So it's sonically it's different, bro. It's current sonically, like
Yeah,
musically, it's just different.
yeah,
Um, but the thing about that is that music is energy,
yes,
right? And so it's similar energy, but it's a different energy,
yeah,
right? It's a different bounce to it. Um, and so for that, I'm grateful. I think that as an artist, you do need to explore, not feel like you have to do what other people are
yeah,
doing, but the liberty to explore a bit is good too, you know. And so that's what I did with this project. I just explored a different sound,
yeah,
and it allowed me to do some things that I hadn't done before in terms of like my delivery, my cadence,
yeah,
you know. I got to like bounce a bit with what I call, I wouldn't say necessarily double time, but
yeah.
there's definitely some other things that I was doing that I hadn't done before.
When you say double time, does that mean
Yeah,
like basically layering your voice on the same song in a verse or something like that?
no, no. So what I mean by that is a faster delivery of the words.
Okay, okay,
Because
okay.
before some people might say that, you know, I was kind of just kind of laid back a little bit more
Yeah,
on the music, and it sounds a
yeah,
bit more relaxed. But this one, with the double time, I would deliver a bit quicker. So
yeah.
artists like, not Twisted, not exactly to Twister's level, but
Yeah.
yeah, just kind of double time
Like a
delivery.
logic, something like logic is probably the best comp that I can make, because logic spits fast and spits slow, depending on
Mm,
what the situation calls for. But he does
yeah,
that a lot, so I think that's
yeah.
probably maybe the comp that I can think of, because it's
Okay.
not it's not Twister Speed, but it's not no Honda Civic neither, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you was letting it go, da 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 da, just like, you know what I'm saying. So I think for me, I mean, it's always the one that you can go back to the right before it, Street
Yeah.
English. But this probably gave you a chance to not have nobody in your ear. You got to say how the song was going to start, how the song was going to finish. There's
Right.
no, oh, this person got rights to this and that person got rights to that. Nah, man, I own the
Mm,
whole enchilada, man, and that's
the whole
that.
enchilada.
It's a very gratifying it's a gratifying feeling, man,
Oh, for sure.
to know that nobody else is owning what you done created, man, because that's eternity right there. Once it done, it's eternity, and I think people don't grasp that eternity. You got these cats eating off of what you done created forever. That's why record labels they infuriate me. Publishing, I call it RPM,
Mm,
royalties, publishing, and masters.
right.
In anything you do, art, music, or whatever, you must own all three. This gives no circumstance or any situation where the record label can eat off of what you're doing. This is what I
Mm,
feel about record deals. Okay, you want to have a record deal, fine, but that thing needs to last 4 months. It expires after 4 months. You know why it expires after 4 months? Because 4 months is exactly how the album's gonna be. Then it dies off. Am I lying?
hey,
You've been
wow.
listening to music as long as I've been listening to it.
Wow.
Am I lying? 4 months is all it is. From the date of jump off, 4 months is how long it lasts. Then it's done. So why would I let you keep eating off of it?
Wow.
So you say you spend 100 grand, fine. You've made your 100 grand back already. Peace.
Wow.
These BS lifetime contracts that music record labels, that's what they have. Lifetime contracts.
Yeah.
And then they go behind your back. They put your music in a movie, in a cartoon, without notifying you. They're not paying you a dime. Meanwhile, your album's
Mm,
bumping all over radio station and you still broke. Your parents live in
mm,
the same neighborhood. Nah,
mm.
man. That's a dollar, baby. Nah.
Yeah.
Not no.
Yeah.
Not doing that.
Bro,
No.
you're right. You know, we talked about this earlier. Music is a spiritual. The essence of it is spiritual because you think
Yeah.
music isn't tangible. It's not
Yeah.
some. I mean, especially nowadays,
Yeah.
like we don't even buy CDs for the most
No.
part anymore.
It's digital consumption is what I want to call it.
You know, so like you think music, it's not even something that you can put your hands on, but it
Yeah,
has such a profound effect on
yeah,
people that listen to it. And like you said, it is eternal. Once you put a song, release a song, um, it's out there. But then, especially if you release a song that connects to people,
yes,
like, someone can grow old and take that same song and hand it over to someone who's just been born or
yep,
somebody who's younger.
yep,
We still listen to Marvin Gaye. We
yep.
still listen
What's
to,
going on?
you know what I mean?
Ray
And that,
Charles,
it,
Georgia on my mind. Tupac, changes, life goes on.
you
Nas,
know,
it was written. If I rule the world, Stillmatic, Illmatic, you know what I'm saying? Memory Lane, Jay Z, Blueprint,
hard, yeah,
Common,
Hard Knock
Road,
Life,
Common, Chocolate. I think it was a chocolate with white. What's it called?
like
Chocolate.
water for chocolate, like
Yeah,
water for
thank you very
chocolate.
much. So stuff like that, man. Without question, man. So it's like it's really I'm really proud of you in the fact that you just took this leap of faith in self and just said, you know what, I'm going maximum effort and I'm going into this. Now, this is a project different from everybody else. And street English, I love you talking about it, but
Thank you, brother.
what's this is cynical. I don't know whether to call this a sin or not, but which one you think is which one you think is I don't want to
I,
call it better.
I
Which one
like the question. I
which one
love this
feels you
question.
more?
Yeah, yeah, I love the question. Uh, Street English is for me by far the pinnacle of my creativity at the
Yeah.
moment.
But it's not because in me, I know there's still so much. Now you're finally figuring out what you can do. So it's not the pinnacle. It's you ever watch this cartoon called Dragon Ball Z? You know,
I've
Super.
seen a few episodes. I've
Yeah.
seen a few.
So what would happen was the character would charge up and reach power level 1,000. Now what's happened to you is you finally transform into a Super Saiyan. Now you've seen what you can do. Now every time you need to reach that pinnacle, you transform again. So
Yeah,
that's why I say you haven't reached your apex yet. I
I've
don't. I don't.
I
You ain't
agree
even
with
reached
you.
it yet.
I,
Everything before
I
that was practice. That includes street English.
and I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. But what I'm saying is that it's it set the standard for what
Yeah,
I know I have the ability to do.
yeah,
So now I just need to match that um lyric the lyricality
yeah,
with the production.
yes,
So the production is where I'm headed next, is really getting all my production up to the level of the songwriting
right,
and the lyricism,
right,
so that at that point there are really no limits, right?
right.
When I'm producing to the level that I'm writing,
Yeah,
then
it's
boy,
over. It's over.
boy,
It's a very gratifying it's a very gratifying feeling, man. Which opens up your
I'm
universe.
I'm locked in the studio, bro. At that point, I will probably be a hermit.
Yes, yeah, because that's funny because that takes me to my next question. What's next for your music universe? Because it is a universe. It's not just one like a box that you're living in. No, what so what's next for it in terms of next projects I might want to do once. Of course, class crown has to go for a good minute. But then
Yeah,
what do you see more for your universe of the music?
bro. I'm in the studio now producing, bro. I'm working on my producer chops. The
Whoa.
next, yeah, brother. The next thing I would like to do is I'll probably uh I I might look at releasing I might do a beat tape. Like,
Okay. What does
just
that mean? Like freestyle or something?
no, well, it would be my like a production demo, like
Okay.
some beats that I make that I just
Yeah.
want to people to hear,
Yeah. Yeah.
and just get that feedback from what people are saying about the production. So
Oh, okay.
um yeah, it's production, and then yeah, man, a fully solo produced project where I've done everything. I've produced the music and I've written the songs as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's production for me, man. That's where it's at.
Dude, that's beautiful. So you're just gonna play straight beats.
Beats, man. I'm trying to, yeah, blow up. B- Yeah, because I mean the thing is that once that happens, because obviously we've been talking about animations and various things, because at that point there's no um there's no barriers in creativity. I can be creating nonstop for different things, creating for
It's just
absolute.
it's this is what I'm looking for here, man. It's not you don't have to really be a prisoner of one space.
Yes.
And as you all well know, me and Kim have gone on here multiple times. We are in the future going to be doing an album together, whether it's one
Yeah.
song. In fact, not that I'm advertising, but I played a beat for him from my album that I'm going to finish. He's
Yep.
like, "Whoa!" I felt like because I was looking at it, I was like, "Where can I fit this dude?"
Yeah.
Right there would be the trap because I think that story is you could throw a verse in there that will
Mm.
match what I've already got in there because the stories are similar, like how we're overcoming things. And so, not that I'm going to tell y'all the track, but your finishing of your album, like I said before, is making me to, as my brother said, at one point I quit music altogether, man. And then my brother, I
Mm.
was going to burn all the songs and all that stuff. He said, "Nah, don't do that, man. You come back to this thing when you're good and ready." And so that's exactly what I did. And so now that the art is flying off like a nuclear warhead, man, it is time to get to it. You feel me? It's time
Yep.
to just make this thing happen. And so that's why I asked you about your music universe. What's next? Because I'm an animator. I'm doing all the stuff I'm gonna be doing with this Card of Assassin universe. Eventually, when I get to that point where I want to do an animation movie series or animation movie, hey yo, Kimba, this is the scene. Look at it. All right, what you got, dog? Let's go.
Yeah, man.
You know
That's
what I'm
why I
saying?
say that's the space I want to be in, because
Yeah,
need to have that type of workflow to be able to say, hey,
yeah,
this is what I want to do with this. All right, boom, bang, bang, knock it out. And then, it smashes. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's what becomes great is when that's is when that you can um have projects that you choose, not projects choosing you. So maybe somebody brings some idea to you, just like nah, I don't think uh I'm gonna do this. I think I'm gonna leave this alone. This ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? Like the other day, I was at WonderCon, the comic expos, and these
yeah,
guys at my table, they were looking at the drawings, just like we're looking at now. They were like, "So would you draw anything for us?" I looked at the dude like, "No, you can't afford me." I straight up, because they have it in their mind that art is so undervalued. They think they can give you $600 and call it a day, and then
yeah,
drawing for the rest of their life. Nah, man, no. I
yeah.
told him straight to his face. I said, one, you can't afford me, and if I did give you the dollar amount you have to give me for down payment, you still couldn't afford me. So let's not waste
Mm,
our time having this conversation. And he was kind of like taken aback, like, how you know I'm gonna take it out of my pocket? Because you just sat there whining about $25 poster. So why am I gonna waste my
mm.
time? People tell you who they are. You just have to let them. You have to let yourself see that. Okay, this is who this person is, and I ain't finna waste my time. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Boy, boy, you did well, man, and you're doing well. And the thing is, with you knowing your
Yeah.
value now too, it's so important as an artist to know your worth,
Yes, sir.
know your value. Um, because we as creatives, we love to create,
Yes.
and that can be taken advantage of sometimes.
Oh God. Talk taking advantage of. We get violated. Are you kidding me? Taking advantage of. You got you got rappers dropping albums or music, anybody in music in general, dropping albums that are going diamond and they're still broke, zero in their account. They can't afford toothpaste. They can't afford medical care. What isn't that? Well, look at Kimberly Vargas. Hey, thank you for joining us, man. Now this lady right here, Kimberly Vargas. When I tell you she's like a mother, man, she's seen me build it from the beginning.
I
I
believe
couldn't
it.
afford a Snicker bar. That's how far she go back. Yeah, that lady, man. There's not a week that she doesn't send me something inspirational that I need to just keep going.
Oh
She sees all
man,
the stuff I'm doing, man. You know what I'm saying?
amazing.
That's my Italian mama. She,
Hey,
you know
hey,
what I'm
shouts
saying?
out. Shouts
She's
out to Miss Vargas, man.
she just
Queen
man,
Kim Vargas.
she used to tell me, sweetie, you can spend your energy chasing your dream, or you can spend it looking for a job. I would need for you to go spend it looking for a dream. And that's exactly what I did. You know what I'm
Bro.
saying? I don't, I don't, I don't, I don't really, I appreciate it so much, man. You get people like that in your corner, man. And so that's why I don't need a bunch of people in my corner. I need the
Yep.
right people in my corner.
The right
I'm,
people.
I'm, I'm grateful for I don't think the universe don't make mistakes. We were like this at first. Now we're like this. Both of us.
Yeah.
We're realizing we can go further, a lot further. We just create a brotherhood where if one platform is building another platform, like I said, for y'all don't know, my Batas footwear is not the official sneaker of Annadale, which is a big company in Dallas, Texas. And just the fact to have the sneaker on that platform as sneaker of the week every week from now on. Every week, bro. Every week is gonna be my sneaker.
That's hard, bro.
That's hard, bro. And these are victories that I know about, and then I share them with people that I know want to see me succeed, see me win, like yourself. Everybody is supposed to know about your victories, man. Like
Mm.
whatever plans you have, execute them joints. And when they got put out, that's when you tell them about it. But prior to
Yeah.
that, they don't need to know your business. I
That's
always
it.
say, move silent and hit hard.
Yeah.
For real.
Well, you're a prime example of that, bro. You're a prime example
Like
of that.
yourself, you likewise, you are too. I think
Thank
we're
you,
we're
brother.
we're seeing the success we always wanted to see because
Mm.
we've required knowledge and then in turn able to transition it to wisdom. And
Mm.
then you can, I don't want to call it weaponizing it, but you're now weaponizing your own talent at your own grace, not at
Mm.
the behest of a record label or
Mm.
production company or whatever. You've saved enough, you've had enough in your pocket to
Yeah.
where you can actually do these things. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So that really is, I think, it's the biggest difference in where you are now with your I think that's why your music universe continues to go where it's gonna go. Now we got some
Yeah.
bonus questions for you, sir, and they are
Yes,
tough.
sir.
Damn it, you're gonna have to
Hit
answer
me.
for it, man.
Hit
First
me.
question, because it's hip hop is your thing. Who is your favorite rapper? Like your dude that's your favorite rapper. It
Boy.
could be yourself, but if it's not yourself, then who is it?
Yeah, that's man, you definitely put me on the spot with that one. But and it's funny, sometimes it changes, man.
Yeah,
But at the moment I would say probably Nas.
I'm kind of happy you said that because he's my second favorite rapper,
Okay.
and he's
Yeah.
Nigerian. So hey, a lot of people don't know this, but Nas is Nigerian. Nasiri Oladare Jones. Yeah, your boy Nigerian. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's why I rep his music hard. He's
That's
the greatest
crazy.
African rapper. Period. Nas
Wow.
Nasiri Oladare Jones. With a name like Oladare, you definitely Nigerian. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
We claim him hard
Okay.
back home. You know what I'm saying? Nas, man, he's such a lyricist,
That's tough,
bro.
bro. I didn't know that. That's tough.
Yeah, Nas Nigerian, man. What?
Yeah. That's
Nas
tough.
Nigerian. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Nas Nigerian. And I think Busta Rhymes is from the islands. It might be Jamaican.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Biggie too. Biggie's Jamaican too.
Yeah. Now I knew
So,
that
but
about I
Nas is
think I
definitely Nigerian, man. He's a pantheon great. I'm surprised. I'm like he's a
yeah.
prodigy that became a pantheon great. There's very few
Yeah.
prodigies that become pantheon greats. Nas
Mm.
is a 30-year amusement park. That man, he's just nasty with it. He's so
Yeah.
sick with the pencil, man. Well, with the
Yeah.
pen, excuse me. What?
Yeah,
I
he's
turned this King's
amazing.
Disease. I was listening to King's Disease, and I heard the third track is a track called 30. 30 Summers is basically what he's referring to because he had 27 summers. That album, because he's working with Hit Boy now. God, it's like he's just returned back to Stillmatic again. Like, dude, it's just Stillmatic, man, is the third, it's the second greatest album I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Behind All Eyes on Me.
Yeah.
There's All Eyes on Me, Stillmatic, Is Dark and Hell is Hot, Life After Death,
Mm.
Blueprint, and then like ones that I really love a lot. Doggy Style, Street English by You, um,
Wow.
Oh yeah, this is legit. One day I'm gonna stick mine in there. Kendrick Lamar, Damn, Logic Under Pressure, and
Wow.
then
Wow. Okay, yeah, now that you definitely hit me different. I didn't know that. Mm. Aquemini. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what's amazing? Do you know what's amazing, Junior? I really appreciate hearing you enthuse about these albums, right? You just named about 15 albums that you said that you can regularly listen to. And I I genuinely appreciate that because that lets me know and confirms that there are still people on this planet who consume albums of work by artists. Mm,
you know what I'm saying. So it's really about hearing substance, man. That's really what the truth of the matter is. I think as long as people are able to what's the word I'm looking for? People are able to understand quality or what that
mm,
word means. Albums like that aren't going anywhere. Even till
yeah.
today, people are dropping Tupac's album, All Eyes on Me. People are getting ideas from that thing left and right. Me Against the World. In fact, Tupacalypse, strictly for my N words, All Eyes on Me, Me Against the World, Are You Still Down, Thug Life, like Pac is the pinnacle of rap, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell anybody which is gonna be the next question, but so Nas is your favorite, man. Why Nas? Now we need to get to that question.
um, that's a great question, bro. Um, I think he was one of the first. So the rapper that made me want to rap was
Yeah,
Ghostface Killer.
right.
He's the one that made me want to
So,
rap. When he did the song with Mary J. Blige, All That I Got Is
yeah,
You,
yeah,
um, that was a very pivotal point in my life. I think I was
yeah,
14 years old, and
right.
he looked like he was rapping it somewhere in New Jersey. And I
Yeah,
missed New Jersey so much at that time. But it was when I heard that from Ghostface.
yeah.
And then not long after that, I saw the video for If I Ruled the World with Nas
Woo!
featuring
With
Lauryn
Lauren Hill.
Hill.
Oh,
Featuring Lauryn
damn.
Hill.
Mm-mm-mm.
And when I saw him standing on top of he was rapping on top of the 18-wheeler truck.
Yeah,
And I thought, what in the world is this? And you had this young African American man, very stylish, very confident,
yeah.
but it was so intelligent.
Yes,
Like the use of language, I didn't understand what he was talking about, but I knew that the language was so intelligent.
yeah.
And I thought to myself, how can you be that cool and that intelligent all at the same time
Man,
and have that much liberty in who you are and that much confidence in who you are? And it changed my life, man. I was like, I don't know what this is, but I want to be what this is.
what this right there.
And
Nas,
that was the first time, that was one of the first times outside of sports that I
yeah.
was inspired in that way.
Wow. he's Nas has never given up his intelligence. Not to sell
Nope.
a million records. Not he's not sacrificing his being. That's
Nope.
why you get albums like Streets Disciple. What's that album? What's it called? It came right after Stillmatic. Oh my God. Oh no, it had that track on it. Made You Look. You're a slave in my rhyme book. Oh my God, what? Godson, excuse me, Godson.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Okay.
Then he dropped the one called the Black Rose, or no, Hip Hop is Dead. And then I felt like a new wave of him began again.
But watch this though. Watch this. Even those albums called the Lost Tapes,
Yes,
even those projects have songs that let you see that his writing wasn't necessarily about commercial success, but
no,
about a narrative of overcoming
yep,
and self-actualization,
yep,
by the grace of God, and understanding who you are and what your abilities are, man. And that just that's and it still speaks to me. It speaks to me now, but definitely in my young teenage years,
yeah,
it really fathered me, bro. It
yeah,
uncled me, it fathered me, it brothered me, along with some of the other ones like your Most Def as well, Black Thought.
yep.
Um, but
Common is good.
those two there,
Yeah,
Ghostface put the hook in my mouth, but then it was Nas who reeled me in, man. It was
yeah.
just like,
It's over
nah, this is definitely for me. I don't understand it at the moment, but it's for me.
for me. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Nas is a being a Nigerian and hearing you say Nas, it makes me happy as hell. Shit, I ain't crying. We claim him hard. And the day I meet him, I'm like, hey, Uncle Kilo Shele, I'm gonna stop. He be like, what the? Yeah, man, Nas, we claim you, bro. You ours. We claim you. You know
Hey,
what I mean?
you are
So
the first.
Nas is now on to that next one. More difficult.
Yeah.
This is a bonus, a double bonus. Top 5 rappers of all time.
Boy, that's
And
you
it's
really.
top 5. I always mention the top favorite. No, no,
All right. All right. I'm not dancing. I'm not dancing. All right. Um, it's challenging. It's going to the top five are my top favorites. All right. So we're gonna do like this. All right. Obviously, we got Nas in there. Um, I gotta put Pac in there as well.
ain't up in there. He ain't number one. Oh, that
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore, that gotta be Pac thing. Gotta be.
Now, some of these other ones might challenge people, but
Okay.
um, I gotta say Rakim.
Oh, what the hell's that this challenge about? Are you kidding me? This the guy that spawned cats like Tupac and Nas.
Yeah,
So what no. Yeah, so we
well,
got Nas.
um, I'm gonna say AZ. I'm gonna,
Do that before. Because he doesn't get
yeah,
the credit he deserves.
nah, man. Like he's a guy that there are not many people you can hear next to Nas and
No.
think,
Damn.
yeah, maybe he got the better of that. Maybe his
Yeah.
verse was a bit, and so for me,
In Illmatic, you heard him in that album called oh my God, what's that song? I'm about to go look it up right now. That song
Life's a
is called
B. I think it's called Life's a B.
Life's a B. And then in the new one, Stillmatic, in the second, still, oh my God. What? And then I think they did a third one. Is there a third one?
Listen, anytime they're together, they were actually in that group, The Firm.
Oh, they were.
Yeah, it was him, it was Nas, AZ, Foxy Brown, and Cormega. Yeah, bro. And that was produced by Dr. Dre as well. That album. Yeah, when you get a chance, go check that thing out. Go check that. Like, that is so challenging. That is so challenging. That's so challenging. Um, for me, I'm gonna have to. It's gonna be a three-way tie, bro.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
it's gonna be for me. It's gonna be Black Thought,
Okay.
Most Def,
Okay.
and it might be Common.
Okay. That's not bad at all. So we got Nas, Pac, Rakim, AZ, Most Def, Common, and then who's the last person I'm leaving out?
Black Thought and Most Def.
Black Thought. That's not, dude. That's a hard list because you have a lot of intellectuals up in there, man.
Yeah, I
MCs,
mean
like when you
honorable
talk about
mentions.
MCs, you have
I
you literally have MCs in there. These guys
yeah,
aren't these cats are MCs. That means their wordplay is off the chain,
hands down,
hands
hands
down.
down.
Like Black Thought is crazy wordplay. 30-minute freestyle. I said, what in God's name? Or 20 minutes or whatever, how long it was. Man, then you got Common, who's like a philosopher. Most Def is like a English teacher that's teaching you how to use words. Then you got Nas, who's a science. Um,
And you know what? It's crazy because as we talking about this, what it makes me realize is how blessed we are to have grown up in that era of hip hop.
that is that is true. That is a true statement.
What
90s
we
is
were
different from
exposed to, because you got to think about it. For young African and African American males growing up in that
yes,
time who had challenging family dynamics,
yes, sir.
think about what those male figures must have
Different.
contributed to us during those years, those formative years of our adolescence or young adulthood.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Your brain, when what you're saying that your brain as you're growing up is developing. Now, what you choose to put in it in order to develop is a whole different matter. And that's why we have all these circumstances that we have now. Like, for example, Deion Sanders raised his son, Shador Sanders, to have a man of dignity and not to be stood up on. What the NFL did to him was try to, how do you say, let him know his place. They couldn't put
Undermine
him
that. Under
they
they
couldn't
try
they
to
couldn't
undermine that.
undermine him. They still didn't because guess what happened? He gets drafted in the fifth round, and his jersey is the most popular in the NFL. So you just cut your own nose off to spite your face. You look like idiots. So which telling us that you're holding on to your old caveman era type thinking. You feel me? And so when you have people holding on to their caveman era type thinking, that's how you end up with a cat like Shador Sanders, who's a top 5 pick, fifth round. That's fine. You know what I said when he got picked in the fifth round? I said, okay, good. He can be like Tom Brady now. Now he can go for GOAT status.
Hmm.
Now he can really stick it to him. You
Hmm.
see what I'm saying? Even if he doesn't finish career off in Cleveland, he goes from Cleveland to a bigger platform, all the good. But then if he puts Cleveland onto the map, even better. So he could
It's
do the same
true.
thing LeBron James did. Put Cleveland on the map.
That's what I was just getting ready to say that.
Put Cleveland on the
Yeah.
map.
Yeah.
If he could
I
do
mean
that,
that yeah. For him
because
to go
Cleveland,
there and do his thing would be
funny
amazing.
enough is though that when you look at the Cleveland team, they've actually got talent. And Joku, who's Nigerian, they got Jody, who's a receiver from Alabama. They got some ballers, man. He got some
Mm.
weapons. And then he got our whole boy in the running back in the backfield. Oh my God, what's his brother's name? Oh, he's nice. He's hella nice. So he's gonna have a
Mm.
running game. I know he's gonna win the starting job. Joe Flacco's not holding on to that position. No. When the fans start clamoring for him to get up in there, he gonna get up in there. They try to humble him, but that's not gonna work. That humble pie didn't taste that good. It wasn't that good. They should have made a better one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That humble pie didn't work out too well for them. They can go kick rocks with that. They try to humble that brother. That didn't work out too well for them. It's not a. It's not a. How do you say? It's not a. It's not a. They didn't. They thought they made him fail. They actually made him succeed.
Mm. Mm.
Sometimes I say this all the time. It's not where you get drafted. It's when you get drafted and where you go. Right. And then when you get there, the universe has a stranger of putting you in the right place. Instead of, for example, maybe instead of going number 1 or number 10, him being in Cleveland now puts him on the field earlier. He can have his growing pains earlier. He can be on a better team. Because realistically, the only thing Cleveland's missing is a quarterback. That's it. And so if you got that dog in you, getting a chance to go against Lamar Jackson, who's the best quarterback in the league, as far as I'm concerned, the best player in the league, you're going against Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. And then Pittsburgh, they don't have a quarterback. Well, you got those two ballers right there. You got to bring it.
So they're in the same division then?
Yeah. So you got Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and Shador Sanders in the same division.
What about
Hey,
Jalen Hurts? What about the Eagles? Are they in that as well?
he's an NFC East.
Oh, okay.
NFC East. So Jalen Hurts ain't going to see them cats till they get to the Super Bowl. You feel me?
Mm.
But, kind of like what happened to Jalen Hurts. He got dropped in the second round. Thing ever. Now look at him. Super Bowl MVP. This guy, twice he's went against Patrick Mahomes, and twice he's ball better than him.
Mm.
Twice. That first one when the Eagles lost to the Chiefs, they should have won that. Now you went up against it. I got something for you round 2. He gave him that work. Oh, yeah. He gave him that work. You know what I'm saying? Guess where Jalen Hurts is from? Into his house. Little something. Travis Scott, you know what I'm saying? But, it's just, you really have to sometimes be grateful for your failures. And I think too often, people always want to focus on their successes and not their failures, because the greatest lessons come from the failures. As Denzel Washington said, fall forward failing. When you fail, fall forward.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to fall forward backwards. No, I fell forwards. I'm good. I can literally say this. I'm grateful when I fail.
Mm.
Because now I get to see something that I didn't see.
Mm.
When you succeed, you don't analyze things as much as you should, because you're too busy immersed.
Mm. Yeah. 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 Mm. Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why we always see this from music people. Their first album, Spitfire. Second, third, like, what the hell happened? Because you don't feel the need to go. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when that has happened to you, that ain't never good. That ain't
Mm.
never good at all.
It's
Right
true.
now, that ain't never good. Right now, what I'm doing, I'm copying links to as many followers so they can come check us out.
Oh man, that's what's up.
So now we're getting even more views. Even though we can't see it, trust me, we're getting some views.
That's what's up.
So
That's
these
what's
are the
up.
things that I do. Like, that's why, even though as my platform is growing bigger and bigger, I keep spreading my wings to all the people around me that I know is going to help them too as well. So
Mm.
you guys weekly will see me posting these freestyle videos, Rich Young Ruler. I post that thing every week, man.
Oh
Just
man.
ridiculous. It's just you
Thank
gotta
you, brother.
being independent really allows you to do what you want to do. Like right
Yeah.
now, what I do is I copied the link to this chat we're in right now, but I
What's
also
up?
put that I'm interviewing you from England. And then when they
Yeah,
get in the notes, they can see all your stuff, raw fabric, where the album they can get it. These are the little things you have to do to grow yourself. And the
it's
thing about
true.
YouTube, a lot of people don't know this. Sometimes when you post a video, it'll mess up your algorithm on your channel. So you have to give yourself
Mm.
3 weeks to regrow again. That's what's happening to me right now. I posted a video because I did a live stream on a podcast episode. So one video it says, "Oh, it's partially blocked," so that'll throw off my frequency. So I wait 3 weeks for the frequency to get recalibrate itself, and then boom, I'm back to normal again.
Wow.
But I never knew this before. So sometimes when
Wow.
your videos, when you're not getting views, it's okay. Just let yourself go through that little phase, and you right
Mm.
back to where you were before. But
Wow.
even better, you see what I'm saying? So
Okay.
yeah, it's a lot of little nuggets, man, that I've learned as I've grown, which is why I have so much confidence in myself about everything
Yeah,
that
I
I'm doing.
mean, it's amazing what you're doing, bro. Like you know, it's just amazing. The fact that you're doing it in the physical world and the virtual world is
Yeah.
amazing. You making the most of all the tools, man. So it's amazing to be a part of it, man. I'm excited. Um, and just looking forward to the next few months of this year. Really, yeah, just maximizing and developing the all of the other components that
Yeah.
are needed to really kind of make things pop, man. So yeah, I'm definitely thankful to be in the space, bro.
Yeah, I think once you start, I don't want to call it marketing, but start showing it more. Like we were talking about how when you go to these schools, when you do sessions, get on that stage and rap, man. And then have that thing ready for them. Yo, here's where you can get it. 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 Trust me, people will do the talking for you. Like the sneakers that I'm selling now, I promote a lot of videos. But when nothing's more powerful than somebody saying, "Hey, you know where I got that sneaker from? Sunvision.com. You know where I got that t-shirt from? Rawfabric.com. You know where I got that album from? Class Crown, Apple." Because you're not waiting on Def Jam or whoever. You got your own record label. You know what I'm saying? So you don't need nobody's nonsense, man. You
That's
know what
what's
I'm saying?
up.
So the continued as your ascension only continues, and I'm
Mm.
excited to see all the possibilities of all the possibilities that you are going to become. Because I think
Oh
you are just
man,
finally figuring out your your niche, your style, your blueprint, your forwardness, your evolution, man. You know what I'm saying? That Super Saiyan. Now you can just charge up like this, power 1,000, go. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you feel me? So my brother said something to me this afternoon, which made me feel totally awesome. He said, "Your sneakers are the modern day Jordans. They're about to become the modern day Jordans, bro." My own brother said that to me. You know how cool that is? Man, it's on, bro. Man, it's so on. You don't understand. Man, I ain't playing no games, man. So y'all get ready. Every week we're gonna be doing this. So me and this brother gonna be back again next week. And we're
that's
gonna talk
what's
about
up.
something else. But it's all
Yep,
about like and we're doing this because I think like it's gonna be a chance for people to know you on my platform and for people to know me on your platform. Now we got
absolutely.
your fans becoming my fans and my fans becoming your fans, and that's
Yeah,
how you grow more fans.
yeah.
What's wrong with a lot of people is that they don't want to share success. To me,
Mm.
that's just weak as hell. Pardon my English, but it is weak.
Yeah,
You can come if you can join forces like Voltron, man. That's why a lot of artists should be collaborating with each other. But they don't do that because their record label's like, well, we don't want you associating with this guy.
mm.
It's not your type of music. What is your type of music? What is your type of
Mm.
art? What is your type
Mm.
of creation? Because in the end, it
Mm.
boils down to one last word: creation. What are y'all creating? And if y'all are creating something great, then everything else is inconsequential. And if all parties involved in eating, then it's even more better. And not just in the money sense, but in the growth sense, in the
Yeah.
organic sense, in the livelihood sense. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? That's to me is the way you eat, not just
Yeah.
money, man. Money don't move me, man. That don't do much for me. Like I did
Mm.
a sneaker for a customer. I'm gonna tell you this right now. When I finish this sneaker, That sneaker's worth $800. But the woman only paid me the normal price on the website, $250. She said she's ordering this gift for her son. I said, ma'am, I'm gonna lay it down. I promise you, when you see this sneaker, you're gonna be losing your mind. And that's the things you
It's
need to do.
beautiful. That's
That's how you
beautiful.
do work right there. Now, when this kid sees the sneaker, he's gonna be like, Mama, where you get this at? Man, I got this on this cat named Junior from SanusiVision.com. You gotta go see his work. You see what I'm saying? I'm having more courage in my value now. I used to not have courage in my value. I'll devalue myself. That same sneaker that was $250, I would have probably tried to sell it for $50 just so I can get sales. But that's the wrong way to think. Now you devalue yourself. People don't want to value, they want to pay the least for you. No, make them pay the most for you. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Your album should be 10 pounds. Forget that 94 nonsense. 10 pounds. Each track should be at least a minimum of $159.
Wow.
159
You
cents.
know, it's interesting you say that because I have thought about that.
You should.
Yeah.
Make
I
them pay
did
for
think
value
about
for what
that.
it's worth. It's worth that. That's the least they could pay. That keyword in my sentence. That's the least they could pay. You know what I'm saying? Why should you sell yours any less than any other person that's out there? Your work ain't no less. Your production ain't no less. And your time ain't no less. Nah, man. Get your worth, brother. Shoot. We might have to talk about that next week. Value. That'd be
I
a good
like it.
subject right there,
I
man.
like it. I like
Actually,
it.
let's just do that. Value. That's what we're gonna do next week.
Value.
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 In all facets, man. So, brother, where can they go? The social medias, the website. Let them know the whole gambit. And then where can they? I guess you know what you got to work on this. You could try this. See when you go to these schools if you can go live.
That's a point, bro.
If they'll allow you to do it, please try it.
Yeah.
You know how incredible that would be? Live where you right there grabbing in front of a bunch of people. Maybe have one of the students. You got you on the stage, a bunch of students in front of you. Let them get the angle so they can see that you spitting to an audience, and then the reaction of the audience. Man, what? That's literally a concert every week. I'm just saying.
I like it.
I'm just saying. You know.
I like it.
I'm just saying.
Listen, to everybody out there, KingKimba.com. King, Kimba, KIMBA.com.
Yes,
on all the social medias is at I am King Kimba. KING or I am KING KIMBA.
Man.
And that's where we at. That's what we doing. The clothing line, Roar Fabric, ROAR.
Okay.
Fabric, FABRIC.com.
Okay. That's what we want to hear.
Doing.
And I guess the next time you're gonna be he's thinking about it now. Next time he might be going to one of these schools, y'all might be seeing something live. So
you might catch me live, dude.
Catch him live, man. So y'all be on the lookout for that. So, man, brother, as always, man, it's always grateful. I'm grateful that to be able to join forces like this and to be doing this every week. Because I really feel like in my heart, we keep doing this, man, the sky's the limit. And all the things that it can build for us. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't trying to park this on the moon. We're gonna go ahead and put it on Saturn, run a few laps around the thing. You know what I mean? We trying to, for real, man.
Yeah,
we're gonna do this thing. So really appreciate you, man. So next week gonna be back on again, y'all.
Thank
around
you, brother.
Same time again, same awesome energy, same awesomeness, and we're gonna do this doggone thing, man. So Kimba, brother, thank you for being on here, man. You know what I mean?
Pleasure every time.
Every time, man. Yes, sir. So we're gonna see y'all next week. Kimba, Cajun, we're gonna do this doggone thing. All right, y'all. So as always, y'all, the two things I always say: one, never. There's no success in skipping steps. The back of the line is just as important in front of the line. So be determined, not desperate. And then the second one, your dreams can be delayed but must never be extinguished. So wait your time while the universe delivers you the right hand. Be determined, not desperate. Blessed upon blessings, y'all. As always, continue to aspire and achieve. Have a safe week. Stay safe, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Peace, Kimba. Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Peace,
yes, sir. Peace.